Attention teachers, students, military, and seniors. At Goodwill, all teachers, students, and active and retired military get 10% off regularly priced merchandise every day. For our seniors age 60 and older, receive 20% off all regular price merchandise on Wednesdays and 10% off every other day. So when you shop at Goodwill, not only do you get great finds at a discount, you also help someone find a job.
Blog Talk Radio.
It's 9:30 p.m. Central Time, and it's time for the all-new Panic Room Radio Show.
And right of those pots and pans. Get out in that kitchen and right of those pots and pans. Well, roll my breakfast, 'cause I'm a hungry man. I said shake, rattle and roll. 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 Well, you'll never do nothing to save your doggone soul. Wearing those dresses, your head done up so nice. Wearing those dresses, your head done up so nice. You look so warm, but your heart is cold inside. I said shake, rattle and roll. 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 Well, you never do nothing to save your doggone soul. Go! 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 I'm like a one-eyed cat peeping in a seafood store. I'm like a one-eyed cat peeping in a seafood store. I can look at you, tell you don't love me no more. I believe you're doing me wrong, and now I know. I believe you're doing me wrong, and now I know. The more I work, the faster my money goes. I said shake, rattle and roll. 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 Well, you never do nothing to save your doggone soul. Shake, rattle and roll.
The all-new Panic Room Radio Show is brought to you by hellboundbooks.com.
Well, welcome one and all. A little bit of Bill Haley in the comments there. Yeah, I always forget how short the oldies, golden oldies are. I think it was about 2.5 minutes, because I think that was the size. That's all they could squeeze onto the 45s back in the good old days. But a song I've not heard for a long, long time. So, hey, episode 40 it is. Thursday night, 9:30 Central, and I'm sorry if you can hear a noise. I'm fiddling with a microphone, which is I just thought actually earlier they call them microphones, but they're not that small really, to be micro machines a little. But anywho, episode 40. Who'd have thought we'd survive this long? To be honest, we've got 40 weeks of hilarity. I like to think of it, and it wouldn't be anywhere near as hilarious, I have to say, without, I'm going to call her my sidekick, because I know that's just going to wind her up, but without my sidekick, the one and only Xtina. Well, hello, sidekick. How are you?
I'm okay with being called your sidekick. Yeah.
You can be Batgirl to my Batman if you want,
No, I'm okay with that. I am. And
you can hair to my Burke.
That's good too. No,
That's a good one.
you know, and you said it wasn't as hilarious or something without me, and that's just because you like to make fun of me, and I say the most silly things sometimes.
Yeah.
I still can't get over that butterfly issue. I'm still like I cannot believe I did that. Oh
well,
God,
you keep bringing it up.
I know.
I was going to
won't-
let it lie, but now you brought it
I
up
just won't let
again.
it. Yeah. But yeah,
no,
I was
that's
thinking
true.
the same
I mean,
thing.
it's you know, I was thinking about it earlier today because obviously I don't get out much. You know, and you know, all thinking of all the great double acts of yesteryear. You know, and there's I mean, yeah, a lot of British comedians. I mean, the double acts were massive. You know, Cannonball, and that wasn't the real names, obviously. Morecambe and Wise, and you know, back in the 70s and 80s, all the greats were double acts. I'm thinking who were some really good American double acts? I mean, I suppose Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor, I guess, are two that stand out in my head.
They were good. You know,
and many more.
Airhead
I can't
in
think of
me
any others. That's it.
No, the airhead in me is going, Bert and Ernie, you know, so I don't have anything either.
No, seriously, Bert and Ernie were brilliant. And as well, the old guys up in the balcony, you know, that was great, brilliant. Well, it was dreadful, awful, boo. You know, but having, you know, bouncing off, you know, I mean, as you know, dear listener, you know, I've done stand-up comedy before, but I never as a double act. You know, it'd be great just having somebody to bounce off. You know, so.
Well, our listener has commented Abbott and Costello.
Abbott and Costello. Yeah. The fat one and the skinny one.
Yeah.
God, what were they called? Laurel and Hardy. They were great. They were great. You know, Donald Trump and Mike Pence. I mean, you know, they're the great comedy greats. The greats. I mean, you know. In fact, speaking of, shall I do it? Shall we? I mean, it wouldn't be the same. It wouldn't be the same without Mr. President. I need to find him actually, as he's sort of slipping down the list here. Let's welcome Mr. President.
Grab him by the pussy.
Thank you, Mr. President. That was awesome. So, I was thinking, this whole thing, obviously, everybody's facing off in or around North Korea at the moment, and I think I know what it's about. It's about hair.
You think so?
It's about hair. You've got Trump, you've got Putin, and you've got Kim. Little Kim, bless him, or the tubby tyrant, as they call him in England, because he's a little bit chunky, bless him. And I think it is about him. And when you look at it, I mean, you've got, Putin, who's got a sort of a probably the most sensible haircut of the three. You know, it's thinning a bit, but it's neat and it's smart. You've got Trump. I don't know what the fuck is going on in his head, to be honest.
I don't think anybody does anymore. I'm not even sure Melina does. I don't think anyone knows.
He probably gets attacked on a regular basis by small squirrels after looking for nesting materials. And then you've got Kim Jong-un, who, honestly, his hair looks like his mummy's done it with a pudding bowl and some scissors. Some dog shears that you shear your poodles with. And he looks like he's put pudding box. There we go, Kim. And the thing is, that's like the official haircut. All the men have to have that haircut. Otherwise, they get shot in the face or something. It's just like, Seriously, you're like a twat. I'm sorry, I mean, it's not political and anything, but, never mind pointing nuclear weapons at him. Get a decent haircut, Kim. Really? It's...
So the bad thing about that whole conversation is I couldn't really contribute too much of anything because I am so I have my nose so buried in baseball right now. I have no idea what's going on in the world around me. But then you can go on and on and talk about all the political things. Can I have? I'm just begging for a baseball segment. Just to,
funnily enough, it's funny you should ask, but I've actually prepared a jingle for what I'm going to call the Xtina Marie baseball segment, rather cleverly. And so I will play your jingle, and away we go.
Strike one.
I've two words to say to that. Shite! What's the other one? Shite!
There we go.
So I am unhappy to announce that my team has lost yet again today. So I believe that's like 10 losses, and I think they won twice out of all those games, and they're not doing very well. But that does not. I will still root for them to the dying end. So I'm loyal.
Sorry, you're still talking?
I am. Yes.
Sorry, I totally tuned you out. I was just.
Yeah. The bad thing is some of my Facebook friends, when I'm watching it, they get like play-by-play updates. I could treat you to play-by-play updates.
That. Yeah. Could you not? Could you not? I'd rather you didn't.
It would bring us to a whole new level of intimacy, James. Are you sure you don't want to share baseball with me?
It would pretty much end what was once a good friendship, I think. Because no, I'd rather not. Well, tell you what, you can do that, and what I can do, I can send you sort of selfies of me with my stamp collection. I can get that out and stamps through the ages. We could do. You know what we could do? You'd be surprised. You would be surprised. What we could do is like on Big Bang Theory, where Sheldon and Amy Farrah Fowler, they do fun with flags. We could do fun with stamps.
Yeah.
And the slogan could be.
By the way.
The slogan could be the show that takes some licking. And not that I've given this a lot of thought.
Yeah, okay. That's a good save, though.
I think we should move swift. No, I have. I have a great stamp collection this night. It's awesome. So hey, we have a show. Yes, we do indeed. We have Allan Gunnells and Dustin LaValley. Look, you've done it again, haven't you? You've picked somebody who I can't pronounce, but I'm foreign.
I was trying.
I'm foreign.
To figure out.
So I can get away with most things, but yeah. So hey, we've got a great show. We have a new listener. So we've now got two listeners. Big shout out to Dale, who is tuning in for the first time. God bless her, probably the last time. She probably sat there thinking, what is this drivel? I've tuned in for some decent tunes. I've got a decent tune and some great guests and that, and all I've got is this sad little British man driveling on about haircuts and stamps. And I think it was entertaining. I do. Plus that boring woman banging on about baseball again. So, what?
I need more wine.
Were you going to say something interesting there?
I wasn't. I really wasn't.
I
think it was about my wine.
No.
Yeah.
No, I thought not. So anyway, we're going to bring Mark on board, I think, because I'm bored with you. So Mark, how are you there, sir?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me on.
Hey, no,
Hi, Mark.
Sorry to keep you on hold there for a little while, but she gets going on about baseball, and the time just drags by, so for goodness sake. But
well,
how are you this evening, sir?
I'm doing good. I'm staying awake just for this.
Oh, really? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Is it way past your bedtime? It's past my bedtime as well. What time? What part of the country are you calling from?
I'm in the southeast in South Carolina.
Right. So are you on what? Are you on Central Time as well?
No, I'm on Eastern Standard. It's almost 11 here. I went to bed last night at 9:15. So.
Wow. All right. We're 9:45 here. So. Oh right. Well, so hopefully we'll keep you awake. But thank you for joining us. It's always nice to have a fresh face on the show.
Yes.
So. Oh, am I getting an echo? I'm getting some. You need to turn your radio off there, mate. Hello.
Hello.
I'm here.
Hello.
I'm
So
here. I hear a weird echo, but I'm here.
Do you have your radio, or your computer on? Because we're getting feedback or echo.
I don't have it. I don't have. I'm back in the back of the house. I don't have the computer on. My
I think it's
husband
gone
have it
now.
on in the front of the house. Okay.
Yeah,
I think it's gone now. Technical gremlin in the wiring. We always get one. So Mark's here to talk to us about his book, The Cult of Ocasta. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yes, it is. The Cult of Ocasta. I assume that's how it's pronounced. It's a Native American legend. I can't say I've ever actually heard it now.
It's your book. You should know. I mean, really.
Well, then we're deciding it's Ocasta. I assume it's like O and then rhymes with pasta. So, Ocasta.
Yeah, we'll go with that. So, okay. Sorry, I can just hear myself talking back. So I'm going to throw it open to you. Tell us a bit more about it, Mark.
Well, it's a novel I have out with Evil Jester Press. It's actually a sequel to an earlier novel I wrote called The Quarry, which takes place at a college here in South Carolina, Limestone College, which is my alma mater, about a ancient creature that's living in the lake there on the edge of the campus. And a lot of people who worship the creature have gathered to try to raise it and wreak havoc on mankind. So it's a kind of a creature feature, hopefully exciting horror type story. So
awesome. And I'm anxious to hear more about it. Do you have a reading for us?
I thought I might do just a little reading maybe from the prologue of it, just to give people a little taste.
Okay.
Okay.
We're ready when you are.
Okay. Like I said, this is just the very beginning of it, so hopefully it entices people. That's what you want from the beginning. Okay. But I'll start now. It is dark where I am, and cold, concern me much. They are as inconsequential as the passage of time. Centuries have come and gone since I was imprisoned here, but I do not grow impatient. It is the merest drop of water in the vast ocean of my lifespan. I did become frustrated by how close I came with the Sierra human, freedom finally within my grasp only to be snatched away at the last moment. But I do not fret. A being such as myself cannot be contained forever. Even now I feel wheels in motion, events aligning in my favor. There are those out there that know of my existence, that long to touch one so powerful, so ageless. I hear their whispered prayers and declarations of devotion, and I whisper back, calling out to their minds, invading their dreams, leading them to me. Soon they will arrive. They will feed me, nourish me with the souls of sacrificial lambs, and I will grow strong again, strong enough to break these mystical chains and arise from this watery cell. I will walk the earth once more, doing as I please, manipulating, tormenting, and slaughtering the mortal animals. I have big plans for when I am finally liberated, especially for you, Emilio. Emilio Gambrell came awake at once, bolting upright in bed. His body was coated in a sticky layer of sweat, and his breathing came in quick, shallow bursts. The light above the stove shone in the kitchen area of his studio apartment, as always. He hadn't slept in complete darkness for the past few years. Pushing aside the damp covers, he got out of bed and shuffled down the short hallway past the washer and dryer to the cramped bathroom. After relieving himself, he turned on the cold water in the sink and drank from his cupped hand. Glancing at his reflection, he sighed and shook his head. For a man only in his early 20s, he looked much older. The strain and anxiety of the last several years were stamped on his face, premature wrinkles crinkling the corners of his eyes and lips. Not that it made much difference. There was no one in his life Emilio was trying to impress. Heading back down the hall, he snagged his cell from the bedside table and checked the time, 2:43 a.m. He'd slept a little over 3 hours, and he knew from experience that he was probably up for the night. Turning on a lamp in the corner, he sank into his thrift store recliner and picked up his netbook from the floor. Emilio lived a rather Spartan existence. He didn't even own a TV, but he did sometimes watch movies on his netbook. Flipping through the stack of DVDs next to the chair, he found the one he wanted and slid the disc into the external drive. Turning down the volume so he didn't disturb the old lady next door, although judging from how loud she played the television during the day, she was probably half deaf as it was, Emilio started watching The Howling. He wasn't really a horror fan, and this old werewolf movie in particular was a bit too cheesy for his taste, but the film had very pleasant associations for Emilio, as it was the first film he'd ever watched with Norman, and it usually helped relax him, especially after waking from one of his nightmares. Nightmares, he mumbled to himself with a dry, humorless laugh. He wished they were only nightmares, but suspected they were something much worse. He'd been experiencing them ever since that night out by the old church across from the quarry. The night the creature from the lake, working through Dale's body, had attempted to possess Emilio. It hadn't been successful, but something had happened. Some melding of the minds. Sounded ridiculously Star Trek, but Emilio had seen the creature's past, felt its emotions, crude as they were. A link had been formed, a connection. Psychic? Emilio knew firsthand that stranger things had happened. These were more than dreams. While he slept, his mind plugged into that of the creature, and he knew what it was thinking deep down beneath the waters of the quarry. Could feel its hatred, sense its plotting. The movie wasn't calming him the way it usually did. His skin tingled as if with static electricity, and he had that eerie feeling of being watched. It could have been only his imagination kicked into overdrive because of the nightmare, or it could have been something more. Perhaps the connection wasn't only active while Emilio slept. Maybe even now the creature was taking a tour of his mind, rifling through his memories, peeking out from behind his eyes. Emilio turned off the movie and set the netbook aside. His thoughts churned and twisted in his brain like clothes in a washer, but in the early morning gloom he remained still and silent, staring straight ahead at the blank wall, wondering what the future held.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I am sold.
Awesome.
I think I want to cancel the rest of the show and we can just listen to him read. Can we do that?
Just make Mark read the entire book. That would be great.
Yes, yes. You know, you read that really well.
And that was beautiful. You got a great reading. You should do your own audio book version.
Audio.
I'm a big creature feature fan myself. Probably one of my favourite genres. And you mentioned one of my all-time favourite films in there, which is The Howling.
The Howling.
Which
yes,
for me is the. I mean, it's fun. I mean, it came out at the same time as American Werewolf in London. Everybody raved about it. And the other one, the Neil Jordan one, the
Company of Wolves.
Something with Company. I was thinking of Dances with Wolves, but that was something completely different. The Company of Wolves. But for me, The Howling was. I mean, the book was fantastic. The Gary Brandon book was brilliant, but the film, it was very stuck to the book, very faithful to the book. But B, for me, that was the werewolf film. I mean, you described it as cheesy there, Mark. Is that how you feel about my favorite film?
Cheesy. My character said it was cheesy.
So you're gonna hide.
I'm a big.
You're gonna hide behind that.
I'm a big fan of the movie. My character is not as big a fan of the movie, but I grew up on those '80s horror movies, and those are still my favorites. And those practical effects still, I think, work a lot better than any of the CGI stuff you get nowadays.
It's funny even now. I mean, I watched it again not that long since, probably about 6 months ago, and it's like with the original The Thing. All practical effects, and they still hold up. They're still as good now as they were, 30 years ago.
I really think so, and I think just having something physically there really, helps with the suspension of disbelief. Whether it's a puppet or whatever. Too many of the movies now are like watching a cartoon.
Exactly. You might as well watch a cartoon. I mean, like you say, if you want to watch a cartoon, watch a Pixar movie or something. But in fact, there's a phase I've never heard of it before. I think it came out last year called The Void, I haven't seen it yet. I think it's on Netflix, and apparently that's a return to, which is becoming a trend, actually, I think, with horror movies, a return to practical effects. I think they're realizing that the horror audiences don't want, like you said, they don't want cartoons. You know, they want the proper visceral blood. And there's nothing more, you know, visceral than the glistening of blood, and they just don't seem to be able to catch that with CGI. You know, I remember, again, it's gone back a few years now, going to see Alien 3. You know, Alien and Alien 2 probably, you know, some of the best movies ever made. You know, and Alien 3 was just such a letdown because it was CGI, and you could tell. You know, CGI was relatively young. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, I think it affects the performances of the actors, too, when they're actually playing to something physically there as opposed to just something that's being described to them that they're not actually seeing at the moment.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine the John Hurt chest scene in Alien? If that was done, if they just CGI that in later, you know, because the actors didn't know. They kept that bit of the script, they knew something was going to happen. And the look on their faces when they got splattered with pig guts was real, genuine surprise because they did not know that was going to happen. So they were expecting something, but not that. And it was, so you just couldn't do that with CGI. It would just be, you know, just a green screen. We'll stick a little, you know, sock puppet in later, you know. It was, so, I mean, is it those kind of movies that have inspired this particular novel?
Well, like I said, I am a child of the 80s, and I do particularly love the horror of that era. And while a lot of my books, they're not really throwbacks, but I think they're definitely very inspired by the kind of horror that I grew up on. And, I mean, I do have a few books that are just blatantly homages to 80s horror, but I think all of them sort of have that feel and atmosphere of the 80s horror because it's what inspired me growing up, and I think the stuff that really gets in your head early on always stays with you.
You know, I think it. I mean, I'm like you. I mean, I grew up on the sort of late 70s and the 80s movies, and reading as well. Early Stephen King, James Herbert. You know, Gary Brandner, you know, so I consider the greats, you know, and it's funny enough, one of my favourite novels that I've written is a homage to the old Creature Feature. It's called Pede. It's about giant centipedes attacking a bunch of people in an abandoned hotel. And it is, like you say, you know, it's an unashamed homage to that genre because that's exactly the very first horror novel, grown-up horror novel I read was The Rats by James Herbert, a brilliant British horror novelist. And like you say, and that must have been now probably, I mean, I was still at middle school, so that's nearly 40 years ago now. And that molded me, you know, to now. Even now I'm influenced by Herbert and early King. So it's funny what sticks in our head, really. It's scary, but yeah. So is there any sort of genre, any other genre that you would like to write in, or is this your niche and you're going to stick to it?
Well, I mean, horror and fantasy, that's just my first and truest love, probably. So I'm always going to write that, and I'll never have any qualms about being labeled as a horror writer. I do branch out from time to time because I do have other interests, and you know, I have one book that's practically a romance novel. It's a time travel romance novel, but it's very romantic in the end. And I do, when I do short story collections, I really like an eclectic mix, and I do have more like dramatic non-horror stories that I put in there, just you know, to show the readers that you know I have some range. Yeah. But I'll always come back to horror. I can't get away from that.
Yeah.
It's just in my blood.
I mean, if you've got a good story in your head, then a good story is a good story. You know, it's, you know, it doesn't matter.
I mean, some of my favorite writers are like Joe Lansdale, who, I mean, he'll just go from genre to genre, and he's just a great storyteller. So it really, I'll follow him to any genre because I know he's going to tell a good story. So as a writer, if I get an idea that's not the typical thing I usually write, I don't want to be afraid to go there, because if I think of something that I think will be a good story, I want to write it.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I would agree. I mean, we're all writers here, you know. You know, I've never once thought I'm not going to write that because it's not horror, you know. And I think some of the best certainly the best shorts I've written have not been. One stuck in my head was I guess it's science fiction, really, but not, you know, sort of a more earthy science fiction, but not your Ursula Le Guin type. But and the other was just I don't know what it would be. It's like a drama, I guess, or human drama thing about a couple of kids in a war-torn apartment building. Which, I mean, the horror was in the circumstance. You know, there was no monsters or ghosts and colours of demons, but it's probably the most haunting I've ever written. It's not even a horror story. So, hey, you know, what comes out, I guess, at the end of the day.
Yeah, I just always say go where the story takes.
I would agree, yes. Yeah, definitely. So, this book, this is out now, this is available, yeah? Evil Jester Press.
Yeah, you can get it from Amazon, BarnesandNoble.com. There's a paperback and, as always now, an ebook edition.
Of course.
And,
it wouldn't be the same without ebooks.
And, yeah, I'm pretty excited. I've published a few books with Evil Jester Press, but this is the first one I've had out in a while with them. Mm-hmm. And because they had published the book this is a sequel to, I was really happy that they wanted to do this one.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That must have gone well. So, is there going to be a sequel to this? Is this going to be a trilogy or a series, or are you done with the story now?
I think it pretty much wrapped up. It's a direct sequel to The Quarry, but I have a lot of stories that take place at that college. Sometimes I joke that it's like my Castle Rock, and I really feel like this book kind of wrapped all that up. It just felt like a good close. Like I don't think I'm going to write any more stories set on that campus. I feel like this book is my final word on that, and I feel like I wrap it up pretty well.
Yeah, it's funny. I always you know, I never wanted to have, you know, the whole Castle Rock thing, but it's funny, you know, you create a place, and I've found this a couple of times. You just start creeping back towards it, you know. I think maybe because in your mind it's there,
it's a real place.
You know.
Yeah, definitely.
It's there, and I thought, let's, you know, and it's always based on, you know, a bit of the town you grew up in, and a bit of this and a bit of that, and it is funny. I mean, obviously Stephen King is renowned for, you know, having, you know, Derry and Castle Rock in everything. Yeah. But you know, it works, you know, and I think if certainly as you build up a following, you know, your readers are familiar with it. You don't have to spend a lot of time describing somewhere new because it's just there, you know.
Right.
Yeah, like I said, I have all these different stories set there that aren't really connected, except that they take place in the same fictional universe, so there may be references here and there. And, you know, I say I'm done, but you never know, because when I wrote The Quarry, the first book, I never intended to write a sequel to it. But, you know, the idea came, and I just had to go with it, so I ended up with The Cult of Akasa.
Yeah, we definitely are a slave to the craft, I think. Just write what kind of flows out of us.
I think sometimes you have to sit and wonder, you know, who is who's driving who. He said, I'm gonna write this now, and your brain just goes, no, you're not actually. You're gonna write that.
Yeah, definitely.
No, but I don't want to. I need to do it. No.
Definitely. Or have you ever read back your own stuff and sit there and think, I wrote that? When did I? That's not even something I would say. So it does make you wonder sometimes where these stories, where they come from.
You think you've done a little side bit or a little bit of background to a character that is in none of your notes anywhere. And you thought, where did that come from? It's good, but where did it come from? I don't know.
Exactly.
You know, I can look back at some of my older stuff, and you know, some stories I know there are specific antecedents. I remember that led to the story, but other ones, like, I just have no idea where that idea came from, or, so I definitely believe that it's the writer's job to sit back and let the story lead him or her instead of the writer trying to force the story to conform to some preconceived notion. Like, I like to start a story and let it just sort of take over, and then I just follow wherever it goes.
Yeah. Now,
I think we all do.
Well, it does make me wonder. I mean, how do you map out your stories beforehand, or really set out a really good outline, or I have trouble with that. Usually, I just keep going. I don't really have a clear path or something. It just whatever happens. And a lot of people aren't like that. They have a really strict outline that they follow, and there's nothing else. So.
Well, I am not an outliner.
Yes.
I know some writers that really works for them, and more power to them, but I'm not like, with my short fiction, I usually go in with, I have a notion, and I just start and see what happens. Now, with my, a longer piece, I may make nothing as formal as an outline, but just jot down a few notes of, like, some points I want to hit and maybe a direction I think I'm going, but I definitely build into it the freedom to not follow any of those notes if that's where the story takes me. Because often I'll think I know what's going to happen, and then the story just goes in a different direction, and I just follow it.
Well, we are getting really close to the end of the first segment here, and I have not done 11 questions. So do you have that cute little jingle, James?
Yes, I do. I'm glad you asked.
I hope you're ready for it, Mark. You ready?
I'm ready.
11 questions.
Okay, what's your guilty pleasure?
Well, I'm not guilty about any pleasure, but so I'm going to say I don't have any. If I like it, I'm proud of it.
I like that answer. All right, baked beans, ranch style or pork and beans?
I guess I'll go ranch style because I'm a vegetarian, so I won't have the pork in there.
Okay, puppies or kittens?
Puppies.
What's your favorite lunch meat?
Tofurkey.
Okay. What was your first
You've done it
car?
again, haven't you? Xtina's done it again. She's judging you, Mark. She's judging you on your lunch meat.
I can hear
preference.
that. I can hear it.
You can hear that. It's like, that's a bit bland. Turkey's bland.
But was it my first car? Is that what you asked?
Yes, sir. Yes.
It was a Mercury Topaz.
I can't even picture that. Okay. What do you fear most, snakes or spiders?
Snakes, definitely.
No, the answer is spiders. Okay, anyway.
Yeah, you got
Freddie,
that wrong
Jason.
as well, Mark. You're just not doing well, dude. Not doing well.
Freddie, Jason, or Pinhead?
Freddie, for me.
Okay, first draft, handwritten or word processor?
Definitely word processor.
Favorite alcoholic drink?
I've never had alcohol in my life.
Ever?
No, I'm a very odd individual.
Well, I'm drinking for both of us tonight then. And
drinking for everyone, to be honest.
Number 11, one interesting non-writing related fact about you.
I can't swim.
Okay, and here we go. Here's the bonus question. Baseball or stamp collection?
Well, I'm not really into either, but I would probably stamp collect before I would.
Oh, man.
Yay! Excellent. I do. Strike one for stamp collecting.
Do enjoy going to baseball games locally, but mostly we're there to watch the other people.
There you go.
Well,
one for stamp collecting.
I know. Only one, though, so I'm still winning.
So the swimming thing, I mean, it's funnily enough, I only learned to swim, I was 33 when I actually learned to swim. I had to take adult swimming lessons, which was embarrassing, but
well,
I had an accident in a swimming pool when I was like 4 and have a phobia of water ever since. I still do. I still don't like water on my face, but
I assume that I drowned in a past life because I have no explanation of my fear of large bodies of water, but I'm convinced that there's something weird about the makeup of my body and I'm incapable of floating.
In which case, avoiding swimming pools is probably a very, very good idea, I'd say. Avoid them. But no, it's one of my earliest memories, actually. We were on holiday, on vacation, with my grandparents. I was on my granddad's shoulders, and he tripped in the swimming pool, and I went under and inhaled a lot of water. And I remember them fishing me out, and we did swimming lessons at school, and I just buggered about, and I was just too scared to take my feet off the floor. So, and it's funny, only until I had children and we were going places, and I realised, well, if either of them fell in a body of water, I couldn't do anything. I actually pushed myself and learned to swim. And even now, it's not something I do for fun. I do it, with the kids and whatnot. It's not something I do for fun.
My husband has gotten me into a pool, but I just kind of stand there in the water. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's just, we have a pool here. I go in with my little girl. It's summer months. She's in it constantly. And, I'll go in and I'll just sort of sit on a floaty or just float in the corner, just sit on something, something inflatable,
I spent many years living in close to Tampa in Florida, and, you couldn't get me out of the water. But I think that's just Florida living, because, if you go out of the water, it's like living in hell, and, you don't really, it's just too hot.
I love to look at the ocean. I love to sit on the beach and look at the ocean.
Yeah, the beach is a great place to just look at it. It's like, even now, my wife, bless her, she dragged me on a cruise 2 years ago. The first time I don't trust boats at all. Boats go on water, boats sink. I've seen Titanic, boats sink. No matter what you say, they sink. And I went on a cruise, and I did enjoy the cruise, but I think I was probably on edge most of the weekend, because it was like, we're in the middle of nowhere, literally. All you can see is water. My biggest nemesis. I'm just surrounded by it. If this boat goes down, I'm in the water, and I was like, I was a bit nervous. I drank a lot, to be honest. just to take the edge off. I drank more than normal. So there you go. Fear of water. You're not as old as you thought you were, Mark.
Well, we are getting really, really close to the end of our first segment here. So can you tell us where we can find you online, and plug your book one last time for us, Mark?
Well, I have a Facebook page, Mark Allan Gunnells. I have a blog that I update semi-regularly at markgunnells.livejournal.com. And I have a Twitter at Mark A. Gunnells, but Twitter's not really my thing, but I might put something here and there now. And all my books are on Amazon. I have my own author page. The Cult of Acosta is the new one, but I have all of them on there. So take a look, check it out, see if anything looks interesting to you.
Okay, and I do think that I posted almost all of the links that you just said over on our Facebook page, and because I stalk, that's kind of my job, is I stalk people. So I found your Twitter and everything, but you're probably not aware of that because you don't go on it. But it is there.
She's probably found more things that you knew about, actually.
Right.
Well, I appreciate you not bringing up all the skeletons.
Do you still have you still got your MySpace account?
I joined the revolution so late, MySpace was already over by the time I came around to it.
Oh no, I joined it for business purposes back in England. I had a MySpace account, and it took Tom was my was it Tom or Tim was my first friend on MySpace, but. Yeah, like you said, that's. I don't know. Is it still going? Is MySpace still going? Are they still do that now?
I don't know.
The last thing I heard was that, oh God, who was it? I think, oh God, there was some big pop dude Justin Timberlake or something like that. Last time I heard, one of them guys owned it or something, and pretty much turned it all into just music. So it's still going, but it's not anything.
Oh, right. So it's different now, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Facebook pretty much wiped the floor with it. So.
Yeah. But no, I enjoyed MySpace. I mean, I thought it was, and when I went to make the transition over to Facebook, I resisted for a really long time. No, I won't go. But now I guess I'm glad.
No, I had both. I mean, for the businesses we were running back in England, you know, that was a social media. There was a Friends Reunited as well. Did you have that over here, or was that a British thing? And that was based around called Friends Reunited, and that was based around schools. And you would go in and obviously school, and it was actually hooked up with some old school friends, including my high school English teacher who I had a massive crush on. So, and it was just nice to touch base with her after all these years. But
does anyone remember a couple years ago they tried to start another social media? It was called TSU. Does anybody remember that?
No,
I don't know that one.
Yeah, it didn't last for very long, but
I resisted Twitter, and then I joined it, and I guess I'm not succinct enough. Like, I think I have a short message, and then I start typing, and it's too long, and I'm like, well, screw it, I'll just put it on Facebook.
Yeah, I don't really get Twitter too much either. Okay, well, anyway, it was, real quick, will you promise to come back and see us, Mark? That's how I get everybody to agree. I put them on the spot, and then they can't really say no. Okay, great.
I had a great time.
You've legally committed yourself now, so there's no backing out.
Yes.
But,
okay, I've sold myself.
We will have to have you back. It's been an absolute pleasure.
It has,
Thanks
and I will be stalking you on Facebook. Thank you, Mark.
Well, you're nobody until you
Mark.
have a stalker, so have a good night.
And you. Okay, you get yourself off to bed now.
Okay.
Good night.
Okay. Bye-bye, Mark. Awesome. It was really nice of him to stay up late for us. That was great. So,
I know.
So,
yeah.
are you going to do any commercials then? I mean, you know.
I am, yes. Let me take a drink first. Okay, here we go. We had helped. Shush, now I'm talking. We here at Help on Books would like to inform you. Oh my God, seriously? Oh my. We here at Help on Books would like to inform you that, following the appropriate rituals, a portal has opened and spawned a horde of hellish delights in which you mortals can partake. Depraved Desires, our dark erotica and erotic horror anthology. Shopping list, learn your favorite author's shopping habits and confront them in the produce aisle. And the Big Book of Bootleg Horror, a sinister tome dripping with taboo things to make your skin crawl. All are available at your favorite outlets. Find your links to them at helponbookspublishing.com. And finally, we at Help on Books are proud to announce our very own app on both Google Play and the App Store. How did I do? Did I do good?
Oh, is that it? I thought I was expecting a lot more, actually. That was brilliant.
I was also going to say, don't forget to follow. I was still going to say, don't forget to follow the Panic Room Radio Show on social media, our Facebook page, Unofficial The Panic Room Radio Show, Twitter at Panic Room Radio, our YouTube channel, The New Panic Room Radio Show, and come visit our website, www.panicroomradio.com. There we go.
Awesome. Sorry, I didn't. I was just excited. I was giddy about the app, and I do believe it is the first independent horror publisher to have an official app, a proper app that is available on Apple. It's available on Google Play, so you can have it on your Android, you can have it on your iOS, you can have it on your tablet. You horror in the palm of your hand. I mean, does life get any better than that?
Yeah, and it looks so cool, and it's got so many cool things on it, and you can listen to the Panic Room on it. That's really cool.
You can just press the button and you can listen to us blathering on about. I mean, that's probably a negative. All the books, all the new releases. My favourite bit actually is they put on you can participate in a community novel. You just log in, you go in, you add your bit, obviously put your name on it, and once it reaches novel length, providing it is publishable, it should be, it will be published by Hellbound Books Publishing, and all proceeds will go to Seth Rogen's charity, Hilarity for Charity, which goes to help Alzheimer's sufferers and their carers. So there you go. So yeah, get the app, people. It's awesome. There you go.
I second that.
Here endeth the message. Anyway, look, I need a wee, so I think we need to go into the break now, and we will be right back in. I'm going to have to be quick, actually. This is a quick song, 2 minutes, 10 seconds.
Oh, hurry.
Indeed. I have a feeling listening to that song that the House of Blue Light is a brothel, which is pretty cool. So are you there, Xtina? Are you back with us, or you sort of drunk yourself under the table?
I'm here. I didn't hear it say unmute, so I wasn't talking yet. Because,
sorry. Unmute. You just not paying attention.
Yeah, well, see, in the earlier shows, I would just be babbling away before I would hear unmute, and they'd be like, oh my gosh, I just wasted all that good material for nothing. Not that it was actually good material, but
you say good material. That's objective, isn't it? Really. So
it is. It's very...
Anyway, on a more interesting note, this is something I decided to grow a beard. It's the first time I've actually grown a beard in all my years of manhood, and I didn't realize how complicated it was, to be honest. Because and again, if there's any beardy people out there listening. Do you wash it with, in the shower with your body wash or whatever, your soap that you wash your face with, yeah? Or do you use shampoo? Because it's like hair but on your face. So is it? I don't know.
I don't know.
Is the honest truth. I was hoping. I mean, what do you wash yours with?
The hair on my face.
Yeah, your beard and your mustache. How do you keep the crumbs out of that? I mean, no, honestly, it's just I don't know. So anybody can help.
They have. I know they have beard like stuff, like beard. I don't know what it's called, but like stuff that you. I don't know what it's called, but there's some stuff that you can put in your beard to make it smell good. But you don't have a beard, do you?
Well, I do. That's the whole point of the conversation. Yes, I am growing a beard.
Oh, okay. Well, we have. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
Well, thanks for that. That was great. Yeah.
I guess if I had a bunch of facial hair, I might use shampoo too. Yeah. I don't know though. Yeah. But Google. Google knows everything. We can Google.
I actually hedge my bets, and I use both. You know, I'll wash it with a shampoo when I'm washing my hair, and then I'll use my pomegranate infused body wash as well. So it's very clean. It's a very clean
well,
beard.
Well, you got to have a clean beard. Yeah, you definitely do. You don't want a stinky, gross beard.
No, I mean I'm not. No, I don't want a big sort of bushy thing. I'm just keeping it. So it's funny. I mean, I've finally pushed through the itching phase where it just itches like buggery. It was horrible for like a couple of days. But now, no, it's for my daughter loves it. She calls it chinny, and it's like having another pet. It's like just having a gerbil, but on my face, which is great because I like gerbils. So there you go. I have to post a picture when it's. I'd say the scary thing is the large proportion of it that is grey. I look like a badger. To be honest with you.
Well, oh my goodness, I had a dream last night where I woke up and I had like 3 inches of my hair was just white, and I freaked out, and I was in a drugstore, and I went into the drugstore and started dyeing my hair in their bathroom. I didn't even have gloves on. My hands were all black. It was all over my face. I think I was having a scary dream about a midlife crisis or something because it was really scary.
Well, when I wake up and having dreamt that my hair's sort of turned silvery white, it's actually happened. That is actually reality. That is what has happened. No, over a lot of years.
Exactly. But, in my dream, it was overnight. I just these crazy not even they were white. These crazy white roots for 2-3 inches, and I freaked out. It was just awful.
Well, I mean, up until recently, I've been sort of bleaching my hair blonde. I mean, I've been for a lot of years. I've been blonde. Not my natural color.
So that's not your original hair color?
Blonde? No, it's not for me. No. And slowly but surely, it's got to the point where I don't need to bleach it no more. It's a nice sort of silvery white all by itself, which is depressing. But hey, anyway, speaking of, let's cheer things up. Hopefully, this is young Becky. Is that you, Becky? Is that yourself?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
It is. How are you? And what do you wash your beard with, Becky?
Oh my gosh, you're making me spit out my wine.
Back into the glass, hopefully. Back into the glass so you can drink it again.
Gross. Yuck.
So, Becky,
I don't have one, so I don't know.
Right.
I don't.
Wrong audience, James.
Me thinks she doth protest too much. There you go. Anywho, I'm going to play your jingle, and you can do as a review.
Oh, hey.
Okay.
Looks like it's time to review something. Oh, no.
I love that.
Okay.
I love that. Oh, no. Go on.
Tonight I'm going to do Nightly Visits by Stephen Helms. First off, the cover is absolutely brilliant. I love it. It's so creepy looking. There are 6 stories in this collection. I think the first story was my favorite. It's about a regular guy that works as a writer for a newspaper, and he's kind of a wallflower. And then there's a serial killer on the loose, and his best friend who works with him talks him into going to a bar for Halloween, and that's where things get really wild and weird. And I can't really say much more than that because, I'll ruin it. But the thing I like about these stories is they're all so believable. I mean, they could happen to anyone, anywhere, at any time. I mean, they're not far-fetched, and they're not, really strange and weird. It's a really nice way of telling a story. It weaves together really well, and you kind of forget that you're reading. I just think that takes real talent. I definitely recommend this book to anybody. The second story I really love too because it kind of reminds me a little bit of Flowers for Algernon, but with a twist. And nobody probably has ever heard of that book because it's an older book. And
Sorry, what book was that? Say that. What was that again?
Flowers for Algernon.
No, never heard of it.
It's really a good book. It's about a little white mouse. Mm-hmm. And there's a little white mouse in the second story, and the lady accidentally turns him pink. Bright
nice.
Pink. Yeah.
So it's about mouse cruelty. I don't think I approve. To be honest.
No, she's not
mouse cruelty to mice.
She's not mean to him, but it was an accident, and it was just really I don't know, the whole thing. It was really, really good. I'd give it 5 stars out of 5. It was really a good read. I really enjoyed it.
Did you listen to he has one of the short stories he made. He did audio, and it's up on YouTube. I believe it's called Spots, and I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
And he read it himself. Yeah, he read it himself too, and he did an awesome, amazing job. We had him on the show months and months ago, and I can't believe that I haven't had him back yet. But he is, I believe he is he scheduled? I don't know, but he'll be coming back soon because he was a great guest.
I think Stephen is. Yeah, I mean, I think we need to pre-record it because he's a bit of an early riser.
Yeah,
but I mean, a big friend of the show. But so I can't believe you just wrote that. How?
What?
In fact,
me?
You do. I'm going to do the sound effect. I'm going to put the sound effect in for what he's doing right now. So I just little things popped up on my monitor here. I understand it's your birthday tomorrow, Becky. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
You kept that quiet. You kept that quiet. Well, happy birthday for tomorrow.
Yes, definitely.
If I'd known, we could have sort of clubbed together and you got some beard shampoo or something. But maybe
I will
next
drink for
year.
you, Becky. I will drink for you for your birthday. I'm pouring one right now.
You would. Xtina would drink for the opening of an envelope, wouldn't you, Xtina? To be honest with you. But,
I would. It doesn't take much. It doesn't.
So. Oh, hang on. I'm going to play this. This is an introduction to Dustin. Oh,
he's going to kill me.
I've just been. I need to go again now. But so Becky. So this birthday. So will you be having another one next year?
Well, if all goes as planned, yes.
All goes according to plan. If things don't go so well, then no.
I'm hoping to have another one next year.
Well, you know, we're all hoping you do as well. I mean, I'm going to make a note. I mean, you know, happy birthday and everything for tomorrow. That's great. I hope you have a great day. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Put your feet up and get hopelessly drunk and have a good time. But thank you for joining us, and thank you. Where can our listener find Nightly Visits by Stephen Helms?
Oh, on hellboundbooks.com.
Well, there you go. There you go. Everything comes back to them on this show today, but
I don't understand.
Strange old world. Anywho, thank you for joining us, Becky. Much appreciated as always. We're going to say goodbye, and we're going to bring Dustin on now. I think he's done what he needed to do. So we'll speak to you again next week.
All right.
Bye,
Talk
Becky.
to you later.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye. Oh, bless her. Happy birthday, Bex. Oh, bless. She did keep that quiet. Well, hopefully 18T. No, it just literally just popped up here, so now I know. 18T willing, we have Dustin on the line. Are you there, sir?
Hi, yes. Sorry about the talking.
Hello.
Well,
Hello?
hi there.
Hi, how you doing? Thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining.
You mentioned the beard. That's one. The beard.
Yes.
You have soaps for it. I don't use it. I just use regular face soap. But a lot of my friends do use special shampoo conditioner.
Right. I just want something that's easy. I mean, just if it gets too complicated, I'm just going to shave it off. I just want something to fiddle with. It's great. I just think just stroke it and fiddle with it. It's great. Although my wedding ring is like a Celtic design. It's all sort of, it's got holes in it and everything. I got a couple of beard strands caught in it the other day, and by Christ, I nearly went through the ceiling. That was horrible.
Now, you are deciding to grow a beard in the wrong time of the year. You should have done this, back in the fall to keep your face warm in winter.
Do you know, up until this particular moment, no, I hadn't considered that. Yeah, we're just about to hit another Texas summer, so it may be coming off in a month, actually.
Right.
Yeah, you're quite right. Because it's funny. I always make sure I cut my hair, but yeah.
This is your practice run. That's all. You'll get the hang of it,
great
and
for
you'll have.
Double chins. I got a double chin, grow a beard.
And that is actually the primary reason, because I thought I could either lose weight or grow a beard and cover it a bit. So hence the beard.
I don't think that would work as well for me, though.
I don't know. I think your beard is quite nice, Xtina. It's fetching. It's fetching.
Oh my goodness! I'm gonna have to post a picture so everybody knows I don't have a beard.
No, actually, she does have a beard, people. So Dustin's here to talk to us about his story collection, A Foundless Dawn, available on Sinister Grim Press. It was out last month. Tagline: short stories that grasp for the soul and challenge not only societal norms but those expected of literature. That is a hell of a tagline to live up to, sir. Tell us more.
Yeah. Well, really, I was just kind of engrossed with Thomas LaValley and kind of stole all his style. But after I started talking with him, and after I got off the narcotics for my surgery, I started maturing, I guess, and my work started changing. I was more into challenging myself, which I believe Thomas does as well. And I had a hell of a time finding someone to publish it. But Sinister Grim was very kind, and they were into it. Tristan and what's his name? Matt. Thomas was great. He read all my work, praised it, and of course Edward Lee, who he wrote the intro. But I'm always trying to change up the format, how they're told. I think you might have seen a couple of the micro shorts, but.
Yes. I want you to describe to me what does that? I'm trying to. I don't even know what a micro short is really. I try to Google it, but is it like a poem, or I wasn't really too sure.
It's pretty much like a vignette. I started in college. I am a fan of Mike Arnson, and he used to write very short stories, and I liked it. Showed it to my professor, and he told me to give it a try, and it stuck. So he gave me a limit of 250 words. Told me write a novel with 250 words.
Oh, wow.
And I just kind of fell in love with it. It's very challenging.
Do you? I was reading a couple of the micros that you send over for us, and I really enjoyed them. Do you have one to read? Do you have one to read? I mean, I know we have one, but
I think can we read ours out now? Can we do ours now? I've been dying to do this. This is great. It's almost. I mean, it's funny. I tried. I think it was some publisher was doing like a contest, for like flash fiction, which was like I think like 10 words, 20 words, and that is bloody difficult. I mean, for me, I write a short story and it's 14,000 words. So trying to get. I mean, these really get something across in a very short space of time, but trying to condense something into 10 or 20 words is there is an art to it. Yeah, tell you what, I'm gonna go first because I can.
Well,
and then
Isn't it ladies
We're gonna
first? I mean, isn't it?
Well, there is that, but there's also let's save the best till last. So I'm gonna
okay, I'll let you go
I'm gonna
first
go
then.
first. Okay, here's mine. Here we go. In my micro. Here we go. The city that bleeds. This city's streetlights bleed. Golden memories dip and fade on worn, weathered concrete. Fluorescence left to bubble in the summer heat, sticking to the souls of corner girls and John Does. I mean,
you did that very good. See, that's why I wanted to go first, because what if you read yours better than mine?
It is well, of course I will. I've got the Sean Bean does James Bond accent going on, but no, I mean that really it puts you there in a hot, sticky, late afternoon, early evening, grubby city, in the shit end of the city where the hookers hang out. It's there. That's great. I love that.
Yeah,
anyway, your turn. Your turn.
Okay. Okay. Winter in season. It's snowing, she says. I peer out the window and agree. What shall we do now? Shaking my head, I gesture indecision with a rise in my shoulders. Sleep it off, she suggests. Nodding, I crawl into bed and reach for her. Cold hands, she shivers at my touch. I let go, she rolls away, and I accept that winter has come in season, in body and in mind.
Cool, I like that. That was not as good as me, obviously, but no, that was really well done. Well done, that was good. And again,
You've gone all demonic on us, James.
Right, okay, you talk.
Oh, thanks. And believe, you know what? I think we should take a poll, and I think people should call in or tell us or something. But I believe I read mine better. What do you think, Dustin? I was better, right?
I believe it was, yes.
Ha! And now he can't even say anything because he's got to try to fix his stuff here. So, did you have one to read as well, Dustin?
Yeah, sure. I was trying to decide which one, but the one you just read was written about a ex-girlfriend when we were dating at the time. She has seasonal affective disorder, so that's
wow.
I wrote that when she went to bed one night, and this one is about. Thank you. This one's about Gary Ridgway. About him, inspired by him. It's called Sadomasochistic Man, and it starts drug addicted, alcoholic, sadomasochistic man worships Satan and syringes, a collector of hopeless, helpless, hapless flesh. He loves injecting narcotics to engage rats, the homeless youth, with whom he invents games of tribute and worship to the gods of drugs and perversion. The end.
Oh, wow. I like these. I'm going to have to research them more because I think I want to write some of these. These are really cool. Yeah, I really. That's interesting. Are you back with us yet, James? Are you still demonic? Nothing. Okay, I guess he isn't. So
Boo. Am I still sounding demonic?
Yeah, you are, unfortunately. I don't know what it is. Usually it only happens like the last 5 minutes or so, but it's early tonight here. So.
There's an author, Mary Goff. She also, and Mercedes Yardley. We have a collection coming out sometime this year of micro shorts. Both of them, Mary and Mercedes, they write beautiful micro short stories.
I'm still astounded because I think that they're so interesting, but yet I've never heard of them. When you said the micro shorts, I was like, what is that? But there's a whole book that's going to be just the micro shorts, really? That is so cool.
Yeah,
I have to get in on this.
There was one published a few years ago. It was free on Amazon by Raw Dog Press, and I believe it's $1 now. But this one will be coming out. Well, the publisher just got ill. He had some heart issues, so it got pushed back to later this year. And that's probably the best micros I've seen out of Mercedes and myself. We did one called Recycled, where we just took words. We switched line to line, and we only used lines from previously published works, and it turned out great. And there was one with, I think that's how you say it, Wamick. He helped me on a story as well. We co-wrote it together, micro short. His version, my version of the same tale.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool.
Mercedes also did this. Sorry?
When you were talking about the seasonal depressive thingy, when I used to live up in upstate New York, and winter time, snowing all the time is crazy. I always got just a little bit depressed at the end of winter. When springtime, everything was melting. I don't know if that's like the opposite of seasonal, or if it's the same thing or whatever, but I loved the winter, and everything would start to melt, and then I'd just get a little depressed.
Everything looks dead. It's still dead, and with the fresh powder, it's beautiful. Get those snow showing.
Yes. Yeah, it definitely is, and I love the feeling of being snowed in. I really did. And if you're snowed in, everything is just so quiet and peaceful, and all your cares kind of drift away because there is absolutely nothing you can do about it. So I miss those days. It doesn't seem like we have quite as many, or that whole global warming crap and stuff.
Where were you up in what area up here?
What's that?
You were in upstate? Was it a capital region?
Yeah, I
or
lived
Western?
in upstate New York, a tiny little town called Newark. It was close to like Rochester. That's where I grew up.
Okay.
Yeah, but I've lived all over. I've lived in Florida. I've lived in Texas, and where else? North Carolina, Tennessee. I've lived everywhere. Well, I guess that's not really everywhere, but a few places. So.
I'm in Lake George, and I love it here. I've been to L.A., Spokane, Texas, Baltimore, and Manchester, Connecticut, and always end up back here.
Yeah, something about home. So, one of our segments here is embarrassing story time, and I hear that you have a really good one for us, and I'm sure that James he's going to love this one. He really is.
Yeah, there's many from this period, but this is my favorite. All right, well, I had my colon taken out due to ulcerative colitis and cancer, and I was in there for about 9 months. After the first surgery, I had an ostomy bag for about 3 months, and once I was able to walk again, one night I just woke up, went into the bathroom, and was going to the bathroom, and then I realized I was going to the bathroom out of my ass, and rang for the nurse, started freaking out, say they screwed up the surgery. Then she calmed me down and told me, it's supposed to do that. There's years of fecal matter that's coming out, and she had to call my surgeon so he could assure me. And then he had to call the what are they called? The fellow or the resident doctor, and he assured me as well. And went back to bed, and next morning had another doctor reassure me.
Yeah, I have to say, James just loves poop stories. So as soon as you said you had a poop story, I was like, yes, you have to tell the poop story.
I love that. That was great.
Yeah.
That was great.
There's another one that's, I don't know.
Go on, go for it. No, go on. We like graphic poop stories here.
Well, I woke up from surgery, and I couldn't move. They had split open my stomach. You can see the surgery online. If you looked up proctocolectomy on YouTube, really interesting but graphic.
I don't know if I will. Yeah.
I will.
There's an image at the end that is the worst, and that it kind of looks like the predator's mouth.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
But about 2 days after the surgery, my phone kept ringing, and I couldn't get it. I had to use my arms to get up to the phone and tell my sister, who kept calling, to stop calling. And as I did that, I felt warmth coming out of me, and there was a puddle of blood, just blood, nothing else, coming right out of me. And rang the nurse and freaked out on them again for the first time, and it just went all day, just blood coming out. There's you have two, inner and outer sphincter in the rectum. You have no control over the inner. The outer you do. And I didn't have control because of that predator-looking contraption. I didn't have any control over any of them. So it just, years and years came out, and it was mostly blood.
I'm having visions of that Stephen King story, Dreamcatcher.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was very, I don't even know. Yikes, that's what that was. I enjoyed the book though, and I pretty much enjoyed the movie as well. But yikes.
Yeah.
That's kind of. I actually read that book while I was receiving my infusions before the surgery. So I was getting chemo infusions, reading that book, and had that incident after.
Awesome. Bad timing.
You were kind of channeling Dreamcatcher at the time there.
Yeah. Living it.
Wow.
This man next to me in the infusion lab, he had to get blood removed every 2 weeks, I believe. And it was just very odd because it was about the size of a fire extinguisher, and you could see it looked like tomato soup, and he would just be reading the newspaper and totally cool about it. It's very weird to me.
Yeah, it sounds pretty weird.
Yeah, Yeah.
I got a better story actually. This one's only one other person knows about this, so I'll tell everybody who's listening.
Awesome.
There's a medication called Colacort, and you have to put it up your rump and squeeze the medicine inside, and then flex so it doesn't come out. You have to go down on your knees and your elbows and use one hand to reach around. My girlfriend at the time had, I think it was 21. She had just left. So I started, I got on the floor, relocated the tip, put it in, squeezed, and she had come back for her keys and saw me on the ground putting something up my ass. So.
Oh my God.
She was cool with it. Like, she understood and laughed at it. She has that type of humor.
Yeah.
Well,
just as well, yeah.
We're still friends
these embarrassing
today.
stories sure beat any of mine.
So
I think
I got home right when Mark was talking about, you guys were talking about swimming. Is there anything I missed? Anything? What did I miss? Interesting. I've only talked to him a few times. He seems pretty interesting.
Yeah. He said he doesn't swim. He can't swim. He caught that, and as I was saying, I because of a childhood accident, I didn't learn to swim until I was 33. So we shared our hatred of water.
Yeah, I think wasn't that that was the 11 questions, the non-writing related fact about him. Yeah, and then of course we have the bonus question that I would love to ask Dustin because I need more people on my side. Dustin, baseball or stamp collection? What would you if you had to choose one?
Baseball.
Yay!
But no, that was the wrong answer.
No, that was the right answer.
It's funny. Just back to the swimming. My father, who is 92 this year. No, sorry, I'm lying. 91. Sorry, bigging his part up. He never learned to swim ever, and he was in the Navy in the Second World War. And he said, "Well, you don't need to learn it because you're on a boat. You don't need." Obviously, he's not seen Titanic,
That's scary.
But no, he never learned to swim in 91 years. He's never.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
I grew up on the Hudson River. So that was one of the first things all the neighborhood kids were just kind of. We went to the beach or we're throwing off the rowboat and learned how to swim. And we go up to Lake George, we ride our bikes, and we swim from one island to the other. On the Hudson, we would, instead of going to the bridge, we would just get 2-liter bottles, fill them up with just water or just air, take the water out or soda out, duct tape them to our bikes, get those little wacky noodles, duct tape them, and we'd swim across the lake to the trails.
Oh, wow.
Great fun. Great fun. I think. I mean, I despite my fear of what all my kids learned to swim at an incredibly young age, because I think it's important. I mean, just like I say, to be funny actually with my daughter. I mean, she's 8, just turned 8 now. If her and I fell in a body of water, she'd probably rescue me. She'd be able to fish me out and out. She's an excellent. All my kids are excellent swimmers now.
Yeah, my daughter, growing up in Florida, she was just maybe about 2 years old and fell into the deep end of a pool. And, of course, I'd jump into, oh, my God, my child. And before I could even get to her, she popped up at the top and she's spitting water out. But she was just fine, because she had been in water for, time.
Well, it's funny, my daughter, when she was about that age, she'd jump in the pool, she'd be bobbing under the water and all that. Put her in a bath, you have to put a little hand towel over her face in case she got water on her face. For fuck's sake, you've just been in the pool for 2 hours, under the water most of the time, and now you got a bit of tap water, and you think, really? I mean,
Well, time is just about up for this show tonight, and I want to thank you, Dustin. And can you let us know where we can find you online?
Yeah,
and
sure.
Where we can find your books too.
Well, Amazon, and that's pretty much it nowadays. And online, Twitter is Dustin LaValley, and my Facebook for my writing is Dustin LaValley Author. I don't have a website or a Tumblr, nothing like that.
Yeah, I do think we have your links posted on our Facebook page as well. So if anybody listening wants to stalk him, that's where you can do it.
Awesome. And Xtina's going to be stealing the micro idea, so we'll look forward to Xtina's micro collection coming out very, very soon.
I love that. That is really cool.
It is. I'm going to watch that with interest to see how you get on, because I wouldn't even know where to start, to be honest with you. I think I would really struggle with that. So hats off to you.
Yeah. Well, will you promise to come back and see us, Dustin?
Of course.
All righty. I will be stalking you.
It's been an absolute pleasure, Dustin. Thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Thank you.
And we'll see you again soon. Okay. Good night.
Sounds good. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, I cannot believe we've only got a couple of minutes left. So how did that happen?
It goes by too fast. It really does.
It doesn't.
And I can't believe today was 40. That's something, isn't it? I can't believe we're at 40.
Oh no, me neither. Me neither. Anyhow, we'll soldier on, and I'm looking forward to number 52. We'll have to do something special for 52, I think.
Yes, we will.
Like have the day off and just not bother, I think.
No. We have our listener. We have our listener to think of. And now we have two, so we have two listeners we have to think of.
We have two listeners. One of the new one, she just fucked off to bed, so we've just got back to the one now.
Oh, man.
I've got a headache now. I'm going to bed. Right, so it is that time when we say good night, Xtina.
Good night, Xtina.
Good night, and we will see you next. Well, we'll hear you next week, listener.
Every night I hope and pray the dream lover will come my way. Yeah, girl, to hold in my arms, to know the magic of her charms, because I want her. Yeah, girl, to call, yeah, my own. I want a dream lover, so I don't have to dream alone. want to, yeah, girl, to call my own. I want a dream lover so I don't have to dream alone. Yeah, someday, I don't know how, I hope she'll hear my plea. Some way, I don't know how, she'll bring her love to me. Dream lover, until then, I go to sleep and I dream again. That's the only thing to do till all my lovers' dreams come true. Because I want to, yeah, girl, to call, yeah, my own. I want a dream lover so I don't have to dream alone. I dream lover until then, I go to sleep and I dream again. That's the only thing I can do till all my lovers' dreams come true. Cause I want, yeah, girl, to call my own. I want a dream lover so I don't have to dream alone. Please don't make me dream alone. Baby, don't make me dream alone. No, I don't want to dream alone.
And now, insurance-minded speeches from Geico.
Hardship. My grandmother would go through it every month to pay her insurance bill. First, she would handwrite a paper check, in cursive. Then, using her own tongue, she would wet a stamp for an envelope. Today, however, we need not weary our hands and tongues. Today, we can pay our Geico bill with the Geico app. Away with hardship, in with bill pay on the Geico app. Thank you.
Attention teachers, students, military, and seniors. At Goodwill, all teachers, students, and active and retired military get 10% off regularly priced merchandise every day. For our seniors age 60 and older, receive 20% off all regular price merchandise on Wednesdays and 10% off every other day. So when you shop at Goodwill, not only do you get great finds at a discount, you also help someone find a job.